My name's Nicole ILiADS. I just graduated from the University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg with a degree in anthropology and a minor in gender studies. I actually got into GH my last semester of college. I took it as a gen ed course, and it was definitely more than a gen ed course to me. It introduced me to a lot of things. I'm a math person. I tutor math at the same time I'm doing anthropology, and it's definitely a combination of math and humanities, which I wasn't really into the humanities, but I kind of got sucked in a lot. Um, so in our class, we were given an option, a wide range of projects that we were allowed to do. We all came up with ideas, but there were also past projects that we were allowed to work on. And our group chose the Emily Dickinson project, Fascicle 16. We were originally just studying her variations within the poems, but then it just got so much bigger when we decided to add more and more publications to ours. And then we just expanded this project over 2 semesters. And I just got so into it that I came back to Pitt Greensburg as a post-bac, and I had a lot of help from my professor. I applied as an independent study, so I wouldn't have to pay as much as a 3-credit course, because we all know that is incredibly expensive. And I also got a job out of it, so I was the technical assistant for the Center of the Digital Text, which is newer at Pitt Greensburg, and hopefully it develops more, because it'll be absolutely amazing if we can keep it going. But do you want me to talk about Dickinson or Nelson or the projects I'm into? Okay, yeah, definitely. Okay, so Emily Dickinson originally started out as Fascicle 16. We were mainly focused on the variations between herself within her written manuscripts and the other publications, which were kind of published without her permission, but that's a whole different story. We coded these in TEI XML, which is for a poem. It's pretty easy. We had to use different tags to represent different variations, which was really cool. And we got lucky with our CSS and everything, because one of our members of the team was a computer science major, and he was a genius on this. But what I did was mainly SVG. I used XSLT to transform my XML documents into a graph that studied the dash reduction in the publication. So we went in, we counted all the dashes that Dickinson herself put in the poems. And then we went in and we counted every publication, the dashes they had. And then we did a whole bunch of math equations and came out with a percentage, and we made it into this really pretty graph, which I was so excited about because it took forever, but it was so rewarding afterwards. But so SVG was my baby at that time. But then I went back and we opened Dickinson 16 up to Emily Dickinson and included Fascicle 6. We picked Fascicle 6 because it wasn't as depressing as Fascicle 16. So we essentially coded everything the same way. We added even more publications, that whatever I could find in the Pitt library system, we scanned the images in. We did image mapping. We did a whole bunch of different things with this, and we also made the SVG graph. We changed our layout a little bit, whereas like the variations in different colors would lay side by side before. We made them into table boxes so that you could see them up and down from each other, rather than, she said this, rather than it's the whole line. What else did we do? We used another it wasn't software, language. It's called XQuery, kind of like XSLT. I don't like it as much because I'm not as familiar with it, but we pulled a whole bunch of different information about shared variants within the poems, and we created a network analysis for shared variants. So like the thicker the lines were on this and the different colors meant that they had more shared variants between the I think the lines of the poems and the publications between Emily Dickinson and even the different publications. So that was cool to learn. I don't do much for the Nelson. I'm doing more now since we're doing this mapping thing. I'm finding the geo-coordinates, the latitudes and longitudes of all these different places in Nelson's Chicago, which is very trying sometimes. But I have transcribed and encoded 3 different articles for Becca for the Nelson Project, and hopefully I can get some more, and so we can get all 32 articles done before next term, so that's exciting.
Great. Sorry, I can like hear myself in here. It's really distracting. Have you had has ILiADS helped you see ways of developing these projects? Are there things that you're really excited to try out, to bring back to your campus and kind of like get the ball rolling in a new direction? I guess what have you gotten out of ILiADS in terms of your projects in specific, or just DH and education in general?
So ILiADS has taught me a lot. It's taught me, my professor and most of the professors at Pitt Greensburg are very supportive of everything that we do. But now I can see that professors from different campuses all across the states are interested in what undergrads have to say and what their projects will end up looking like, even if it's just a basic project that you're going to put on for a semester and then forget about afterwards. They care what you're doing, and they want to help you in as many ways as possible. Also, I want to take back, we do hard coding, as Becca said. We learned that we code everything ourselves. Everything's hand done. CSS, HTML, JavaScript, it's all hand done, which is really rough because we only have a semester to learn it in. So coming here and talking to the experts who use like Bootstrap and Drupal and a bunch of different CSS softwares, I definitely want to kind of try and play around with that and see, like, even if it's just my personal site that I create, because I found this really cool storyline thing where you scroll through in the different pictures. And I right now have a timeline of my study abroad experience on my personal site, and I think that would be super cool to try and do on my personal site. I wouldn't do it to Dickinson because all the CSS is already set, but I definitely would say I want to take different concepts that we're learning here back to Pitt Greensburg and try and work them in with our curriculum, even if it's just playing around with CSS options and different JavaScripts, and even teaching myself Python, or I'm not sure what it is, but I'd like to learn it. But yeah, just take everything we've been told, GIS, everything, back to Pitt Greensburg and try and make it work in some way for the department.